in Kendrick's song when he says, I hate when I talk about guns and then someone gets shot and they die and it makes, because we make things happen. So imagine when you take that and you put that to melody and you put that to song that holds you and rocks you, whatever is embedded in that sound is now embedded in you. It's been proven scientifically. The human mind cannot refuse any information transfer.
Girl, let me tell you about the tea that's boiling over in the music industry right now. Jaguar Wright, you know her. She's out here spilling some scalding hot gossip about Diddy and Cassie, and child, it's messy the whole game. Now we all know Diddy's been a big name for decades, but Jaguar is claiming he had his fingers in more pies than we thought. She's talking about how he was pulling strings in Cassie's career like a puppet master. Can you believe it? This ain't just your regular celebrity drama. We're talking about power moves that could change how we see the whole music biz. You all better sit tight, because this tea is about to be served piping hot. We're digging into all the juicy details of what Jaguar is saying, and trust me, it's going to be wild.
If he had been able to keep developing her, who knows what Cassie might have become, but she only got one album and she got stuck under the diddler and she never got to grow,
So my question to that, right, is, because back in the day, I was like, this was good, it was...
Cassie was there to piss off J-Lo for leaving.
Oh, okay. So, you remember like a couple interviews ago, we said there's a ritual with the music.
Yeah.
Is that something that
very much so
performed with the Cassie track?
Absolutely. Listen to me. Songs are spells. That's what chants means. If you look in French, the word chants, it means song, but it also means a spell. The things that we say, that's why they say you got to be careful. Life and death resides in the tongue. Everything that we say holds value, it holds weight, and it has the ability to trigger things. That one line, babe, in Kendrick's song when he says, I hate when I talk about guns and then someone gets shot and they die and it makes, because we make things happen. So imagine when you take that and you put that to melody and you put that to song that holds you and rocks you, whatever is embedded in that sound is now embedded in you. It's been proven scientifically. The human mind cannot refuse any information transferred through sound. That makes music the most important thing that we have. Now think about all of these records that when you listen to them, you heard them a million times, whether you liked it or not. Matter of fact, how many songs did you not like that you ended up liking later?
Right.
Man, I hated this song. I like this song. They kept playing it. You had no choice but to like it.
Now let's talk about Diddy and Cassie, because this story's got layers, honey. We all know these two had a thing going on, but Jaguar's spilling tea about their professional relationship too. And girl, it's not just your typical boss-employee situation, so picture this. Cassie, young and talented, signs with Diddy's label. Sounds like a dream come true, right? But according to what the streets are saying, it might have been more of a nightmare. Jaguar is out here claiming Diddy had his hands all up in Cassie's career, and not in a good way. You know how Cassie's music career kind of went up and down. One minute she's hot, the next she's not. Well, Jaguar is saying that might not have been by accident. She's talking about Diddy controlling everything from what songs Cassie sang to who she worked with. Can you imagine trying to make your own music with someone breathing down your neck like that?
My thoughts is that Mo3 deserves justice immediately. And the people that say they love him need to start telling the truth so he can get it and his family can get it. I'm sick and tired of seeing people capitalize off of Mo's passing, period. And his documentary needs to come out. Like, if people are gonna do this much fighting over his legacy and estate, then they should really be more interested in fostering the legacy.
What you see?
The public needs to see that. They need it. And they deserve it.
Right.
He has fans, loyal fans, and since he passed away, he's made more fans.
Right.
They need their moment to get to know him better. I just think it's time for people to do better by the legacy of Mo3 at this point. And maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, I think Eminem had a famous line said, music will alter moods and talk to you.
Yeah.
And I think, what y'all do is great. But Jack, lastly, I have to ask.
I'm so glad Proof wrote that for him.
I know you about to take it there. I know you about to take it there, man. He has a new album out, Jack. He's trying to sell an album.
Wonder who wrote it.
Shit. Okay.
Wonder who wrote it.
Shit.
I wonder who wrote it.
Houdini is a magic trick.
I don't know. Maybe it was Drake. His people. I'm sure they're looking for work.
We'll save that conversation.
Ghostwriters.
So, before
we never get the credit we deserve.
Ever.
And it's not just about the music. CH Jagger is hinting that Diddy was calling the shots on Cassie's whole image, what she wore, how she acted, who she talked to, all of it. It's like he was trying to mold her into his perfect little pop star puppet. But here's where it gets real messy. Jaguar saying Diddy would build Cassie up just to knock her down, like he'd hype up her new single, then suddenly pull all the promo, or he'd promise her a big teacher, then give it to someone else at the last minute. It's like he wanted to keep her dependent on him, you feel me? And get this, Jaguar is even talking about how Diddy would mess with Cassie's collaborations. She's saying he'd sabotage Cassie's work with other artists if he felt threatened. Like, who does that? It's giving major control freak vibes.
Wishing that you had something that someone doesn't even give a fuck about. See, that's why these industry bitches hate me. Because I would come to shows in sweatsuits on purpose and have the whole fucking crowd going crazy after they spent $1,500 and 6 hours in the mirror. Wasn't nobody thinking about them. And I showed up in a sweatsuit. See, when you that bitch, you ain't gotta prove you that bitch. Matter of fact, all these bitches talking only proves I'm the bitch. Because who gives a fuck about them? Like that shit that Jill pulled was desperate. I know she begging. Illuminati, please. I'm not too old. I got a second win. My titties are still big. You can fuck those. I don't need it. See, they get a taste of that attention. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something right now. There is no greater high than feeling 45,000 people screaming love at you. There is no rush. It is very addictive. And you can coast on it for a while. But it's gotta be more about, it's gotta be more than being, that feeling, that dopamine. It's an addiction. I've seen motherfuckers tank they fucking family when they fucking should have stayed home and not done that tour because they can't live without that roar. I've seen wives say, please, baby, we need to work this out. I'll see you when I get off tour. And for nothing more than that roar. Because sometimes it really ain't about the money. A lot of them niggas be getting jerked. Look at Bad Boy. Who got paid?
Yeah.
But they was smiling in them pictures though, and they love to be in them videos. I know you see me in the video. Hey, I know you see me in the...
Yeah. Those videos were nice.
And you still don't pay me no attention.
So Jack, I want to take it home right there.
At least they didn't pay them bank accounts no attention.
Yeah, I want to take...
Oh, them bank accounts was ignored.
I want to take it home right there.
$500 and you walked for cheesecake and cheese, all that shit. Like, so, and you did all of that for a $500 check and niggas say, I'm a crackhead. Are you fucking kidding me?
Don't. They're kids, Jack. But hey, no. So
victims.
No. To bring this home.
Yeah. I
want to validate for those who just question where you were at during this time.
Yeah.
Can you speak to where you were at or who you were around, and I'm not gonna say a name, but I'm just gonna say Bad Boy.
When Suge Knight got shot in the ass in Miami?
Damn.
Because I was there.
What?
Yeah. I was always around, see? Like, you gotta understand, dibbling and dabbling in the dark arts and sex world and being a ghostwriter and then being a public artist, I'm kind of living a double life anyway. But I knew Kim and I knew Kimora. We weren't friends. I wasn't a part of their clique, but we all partied together. They should do a documentary. They did a documentary about Freaknik. They should do a documentary about the Kit Kat Club.
Ooh.
It was an old theater that had been renovated into a nightclub. And, you know, all of the old like opera seats were VIPs, private VIPs. Everything happened in there. And you know, they had it was Diddy's idea to pass out the opera glasses so people could spy on each other while they were fucking in each other's shit.
Eyes wide shut.
It was wild. That was at the beginning. The Kit Kat Club was the beginning of him going from Puffy to Diddy. You know what I mean? It was a big change. But that was when he first started really attacking art and real artistry. He wanted whack artists. Like, I'll never forget when he was working with a street team and he had them all in there and it was young boys and he was talking about, listen to me, we don't want talented artists. Stop bringing me talented motherfuckers. Talented motherfuckers is always trying to run the fucking show and they think because they got talent that you need them. We need motherfuckers that need us.
That's a producer's mindset. I can see that.
Mary J. Blige was his prototype for what having no talent can do if you're willing to play the game. There's no way in the world that at the position where she sat at the time of that 10th anniversary, and the fact that Beyonce was a freshman coming into the game, she should have been literally bowing down and worshiping this nobody bitch who only got a record out of Wyclef. And it wasn't even the actual record, it was the remix to save the first record that don't nobody ever talk about. Like, I just want to get the record straight.
That's the history. That's the history. Oh.
So imagine what it did for every artist that was her peer at that time to see Mary J. Blige, the queen of R&B hip hop, bow down to this up and comer. Let them all know she's the one. She's the next one in charge. Like it's a nod. You know? It's a big nod. And it tells everybody else around, oh, that's the chosen one.
Now, I know what you're thinking, why didn't Cassie just leave? Well, according to what Jaguar is putting out there, it wasn't that simple. She's saying Diddy had Cassie locked into some crazy contract, making it nearly impossible for her to work with anyone else. The Jaguar spilling paints a picture of Diddy as this puppet master, pulling all the strings in Cassie's career. And if what she's saying is true, it explains a lot about why Cassie's music career never quite hit the heights we all thought it would. But here's the kicker, Jaguar saying this kind of control isn't just a Diddy thing. She's hinting that it's happening all over the music industry, especially with young female artists. It's like these big shot producers and executives are playing chess with people's lives and careers.
Jag,
shame, you know, after all of that hero worship, she couldn't have, you know, Beyonce got the billion. She couldn't have helped Mary J. Blige pay the Kendu.
Cannot.
She could have just cut a check.
You know, Mary just got her titties done, Jack.
Huh?
She just got her titties done. Brand new, just like a week ago.
Same, they couldn't do her brain and her heart.
Oh, God.
They need to go back in there. There's more work to be done.
Okay.
She got her titties done at 50 something.
I mean, she's on TV. She got a.
Who's watching? Ain't this the last season?
That is going on.
She might have something to do with that.
Yeah. Jack, so let's speak on you for a second. We're
weird bitch.
Sorry. We're in summer. Let us know what you have coming up next, because real life does want to be a part of the Jag journey.
I think we are a part of each other's journey at this point.
Yeah, 1 million subscribers once again. Probably touching it right now as we speak.
I know.
And you are a major.
I couldn't be happier for you guys.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And I'm glad that this is going to be over so Angel can go on vacation and get some sleep.
Yeah, you're right.
And,
Ange, we can't wait. No, Ange, we were talking off camera, and Ange has his business acumen is crazy.
Yeah.
And we got to definitely discuss some business with Ange.
Let me tell you something.
Very soon.
Mostly everything that I understand about working with people and doing business with people and living as an entrepreneur, not as a worker, but as a boss, I learned from that man. I'm not going to get too much into his business because people are already gossiping. But what I will say is, you got to look at a person who manages to hold on to relationships for decades and ask yourself, what's real between these people that keep them in the game for 20 years, 30 years? Your average friendship nowadays doesn't last more than 5 years, and then people journey on, or they move away, or someone gets divorced and they got you and they got this, you know. But when you have people that truly know you, you're a blessed woman. And so what's going on? RealJag.com.
There you go.
What's going on? Love.
There you go.
And partnership. And
There you go.
there's this guy that's always hanging around me now, and he decided he wants to do a documentary about my life.
Oh, it sounds entertaining, just the thought of it.
And he's filming right now.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. And that's just a blessing itself, because
and then reintroducing the world to all of the Philadelphia content.
There you go.
And to be able to put all of that back up for everyone that was there before, who that got taken away from, and to be able to give them Jay-Z Unplugged again, because we will be uploading Jay-Z Unplugged to the new Philadelphia Broadcasting Network in the next 10 days. I think part of the reason why they went so hard after the network the first time was just because I put that up.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm gonna put it up again. Because I can. Because that's just as much my legacy as it is yours, Sean. Especially at this point. And I want the world to see it. And I want everybody to have an opportunity to witness what you tried to slump because you couldn't get me to say yes.
You were supposed to disappear, Jack. You were supposed to disappear.
He tried. When I think about that night at 4040, and he told me he was going to make sure that the world never knew about me. He was going to make sure I disappeared. And I looked at him and I said, I don't know, Sean. It's a big world. We'll see.
So what do you think your talent is?
Now, you might be wondering, who exactly is this Jaguar Wright, and why should we care what she's saying? Well, let me break it down for you. Jaguar ain't just some random person off the street. She's been in the game for a minute, singing backup for big names and even dropping her own tracks. So when she starts talking, people listen. The streets are saying Jaguar's got connections all over the music industry. She's been around the block, seen things, and now she's ready to spill all the tea. And girl, it's not just a little sip, it's a whole pot. Jaguar's out here dropping names and dates like it's nothing. She stopped talking about studio sessions where Diddy would show up and start bossing Cassie around, telling her what to sing, how to sing it, even what to wear. Can you imagine trying to make music with someone breathing down your neck like that?
She put it all on the line. Just a Christian can walk around sounding like an idiot, doing his daddy's perp walk with pride.
It's just so sad.
All of this means something a little different to me than it does to everybody else.
How do you think Cassie's feeling about this right now, seeing her video go viral like this?
I can only imagine she's a lot more upset than I am.
And for the people who didn't believe her or anything like that?
Shame on them. You want to know what's really up in this moment?
What?
Mary J. Blige knows exactly what that feels like. And I go for do anything. I guess she liked that scar on her cheek.
Damn.
Because he put the boots to her.
This is
It
wild.
took this. It took this. Ain't nobody asked how that girl's ribs felt the next day and the day after that and the day after that. They sit there and they look at that like when Ray Rice beat the out of his. Ain't nobody asked how she felt the next day. Did she have any cracked ribs? Because that nigga was kicking the out of her, yo. Naked with a towel on. Carisha, please. That's what you wanted.
Jack, what is the protocol for a woman that's getting an abusive relationship? What is she supposed to do?
Well, it all depends on who the man is.
Someone
Or the
that's
woman.
rich with power, like P. Diddy.
I wish somebody would ask why Tweet was so suicidal for so long, fucking around with Missy Elliott. You know, I'm just tired of motherfuckers lying about this shit. Just lying. All the women that have been hurt. You know, I remember the first time that happened to me. Took me 8 weeks before I could cough without wanting to vomit. 2 cracked ribs. They beat everybody the same way. And I've been one of those young women once upon a time, and then I helped some of those young women. But God, if Kim Porter hadn't done what she done, there would be no Cassie to testify.
Are you still there, Jack?
You mean? You can say it 1,000,000 times. And if they don't want to believe you, they won't. Who do you go to other than God? Because man don't give no f.
At this point, what do you think the best move for Diddy would be? Do you think he should go ahead and turn himself in? Because at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. You can't deny this. You can't talk your way out of this.
Just die. Just take care of it for us. Just die. As many you already killed. My body, soul, go join them. Carisha? Please!
Just to kind of wrap things up, in one of our previous interviews, you said that that there were hundreds of videos that would incriminate Diddy. Do you think that this is the beginning of these videos being public for us to see, or do you think this is the end?
I think y'all ain't seen yet. It's just taste. The thing that fucks me up is I know what Boo done for me. But I know there's another tape of me. And I'm just waiting to see where that's going.
Where do you think that thing stands for Young Miami, for Carisha?
I think that she just slit her comments. I hate bitches like that. Those, I don't know why you complaining about eating shit. It's all right by me. I hate bitches like her. The sexy reds. The Nicki Minaj. Cause see, those was already trash when they came. So they don't mind being shit all over. That's why they so overzealous. That's why they work so hard, see. It's easy for them. They used to it. Why y'all want everybody to be hurt as bad as yours? They be setting up just to watch them get so they can feel better about themselves. Don't you, Onika?
Girl, you know, when tea this hot gets spilled, it's going to make some waves, and honey, the ripples from Jaguar Wright's Bombshell are spreading faster than gossip at a hair salon. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen next. Let's talk about Diddy's camp first. You know, they ain't staying quiet after this word on the street is they're in full damage control mode. PR teams working overtime, lawyers on speed dial, the whole nine. But here's the thing, they got to be careful with their response. One wrong move, and it could make things even worse. And Cassie Chot, she's in a tough spot. The streets are saying she's caught between a rock and a hard place. If she speaks up, it could mean trouble. But if she stays silent, people might think Jaguar's telling the truth. It's like she's standard if she does, Dan. If she doesn't, now let's get into the legal side of things, cause you know, when celebs start throwing accusations around, the lawyers ain't far behind. If what Jaguar is saying is true, we could be looking at some serious legal drama. We're talking contract disputes, maybe even lawsuits. It's like opening a can of worms, and nobody knows how messy it's going to get.
That'd be the best birthday gift ever. All drop dead instantly.
So are you saying that like these female artists who are over sexualized in the public, they're that way for a particular reason because they're engaging in these
and they're
sort
damn
of
near
behaviors?
down for every last bit of it. The thing down for the Tootsie get them good. Ain't that right? "25 years I've been working in this town. And where I'm at right now, I look to my left and I can see Marina Del Rey. Where I left Cat, and to my right, I see Santa Monica, where I shot my Coca-Cola commercial when I was pregnant with Sam. I look behind me and I see Sunset Boulevard. All those drugs and all that crime. LA is a graveyard. It's just some of the ghosts are still walking around.
Well, Jack, we're so glad it's your birthday. We want you to feel better for the rest of the day. We ain't gonna take no more.
This time last year, I was in Lew Sterrett, not that far from where y'all at right now. The girls made me a spread. They made me an Oreo cookie fake, the cake with the commissary. They pulled out the summer sausage. Oh, they put it on for me. Shout out to all my girls on the 7th floor, North Tower. Who knows where you might be celebrating your birthday next year? Just keep the faith. I woke up on a concrete slab on a yoga mat last year for my birthday, and this year I woke up in a suite. And I can see the ocean right there on the rim. You ain't gotta understand me, but please believe me. I don't lie. A month ago, I sat here on this very channel and I told y'all, put the boots to that girl.
You sure did.
Why don't y'all believe me? I don't know why they don't believe.
What's next, Jack? What's next?
A martini in a black dress. We're gonna figure out a way to make artistry cruelty-free. That's what's next for me. Because the one person that should be saying something right now isn't. And that's Ryan Leslie. Because you were the man in her life before Diddy. He moved you just clean out the way. Or did he pay you to walk away? That would be the best interview in the world right now. Somebody interviewing Ryan Leslie about how he feels watching, and he loved Cassie. Did he just smooth move you out the way? And your fucking career too. He punked you more than he punked Cuddy, and he blew up Cuddy's car.
Or not. One thing's for sure. The music biz might never be the same after this.
Wow.
Why you just let this just smooth take your chick? Hey, you said nothing, Ryan Leslie. You adored Cassie. That first record, I know you listen to that shit and you probably cry. The question is, how much did Diddy pay you to give her up? Because technically, that could be considered trafficking. That's what's next, Rook.
Jack. The saga continues.
The beat goes motherfucking on.
Well, Jag, although this was not the greatest subject to be on today. We definitely appreciate
It's
you
my
for tapping
party
in.
and I cry if I want to. I cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Yeah. Let's get it
You
on.
would cry too if it
If
happened
it
to
happened to
you.
you. That song means so much something different right now in this moment.
Yeah, I completely understand. But you know what? The reason why we come to you first is because we know that you know. And we know that we can trust in you to tell us the truth and nothing but the truth.
We are family.
And so for that, we
are
appreciate
family
you.
in this journey.
Yeah.
4 years ago, we started warning people about the dangers of vanity and the wages of sin. Don't be mad at us that we weren't afraid to tell it first.
Absolutely.
It's just the way it was meant to be. But whatever it is, down the rabbit hole we go.
Absolutely. Until the next interview, because the next interview is inevitable. It's gonna happen. We love you, Jag. We appreciate you. Everybody, please comment happy birthday to the Jaguar Wright. We love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I think I'm gonna party by the pool tonight.
Go party, girl. Live it up. Take a dip.
Look,
for
I'm gonna
me.
finish the rest of the day in Roscoe's. Child. I ain't had Roscoe's in like 10 years. I miss Roscoe's chicken. Shout out to the Yankee Farm. I don't know what's so special about your chicken, but it comes out perfect every time. God bless it. It's Roscoe's.
Shout out to
Man, listen to me, bro. I was having a conversation with somebody and they were saying the feds are so deep and involved in this that Diddy just might be called up on that Tupac shit once they go through the money trail. Once they go through the money trail and find out why certain people was given certain positions, that it may be a problem. Because they're gonna look at all that. Anything they can bring up, they're gonna bring it up.
Wow. So you think it's possible that they might pit Pac murder on Diddy?
Yeah. That's why that tape of Cassie was released. So anybody who was willing to try to help him, anybody was trying to say that he ain't capable of doing this and he ain't capable of doing that, they got it right there on videotape.
But you being around at that time, right? Because you was working at Bad Boy at that time when, you know, the whole Pocket Big thing was going on. You personally, do you think they can get Diddy on Pac murder?
Well, they always said something about a $1 million check, and nobody knew where the $1 million came from. Puff may have said it in a couple of rap songs and things like that. But they would have to trace the check back to if that check Eric Von Zip had. And I'm not gonna say the person who they said they gave it to because I've said it before, and I told people who contacted me that I would bring old boy name up on there because of situations that he's having in the federal government right now. So if they trace it back to Eric Von Zip and say, why were you on, and he's dead now, but they have to explain why did he was able to get some publishing money or some kind of deal off the sale of Black Ground Records, and they put him as Tank manager or Tank something for Tank, this, that, and the third. Why did they do that?
Yeah, I got you. And when you say check, right, just to get some clarity for the people that what you're talking about, you talking about the $1 million check, right, that they put on Tupac to get him killed, the hit?
Yeah. You know, what I'm talking about is that if Puff has said on a couple of records that he'll pay $1 million to, you know, but he was just talking to people randomly. So now everybody said that, and Keefy D said that Puff told them that he'll give them $1 million. Now, do we believe that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't. Because it was situations whereas that it could have got done by certain people that was around them, but it didn't happen. So when Zip came up with the check for $1 million, he said it was from Blackground Records. And he said that who he got that money from. So now, if that's true, then the feds would have to go in and do a money trace on where did that check come from. And then they're gonna say, why? Why was that check given to Eric Von Zip or Eric Zip Martin or Eric Martin? Why did that check was given to him? And saying that he had something to do with Tank. And he sold the company, which wasn't all his company anyway, for $1 million.
Man. But what you think about the diss record that King Combs came out with, where he was coming at 50 and coming at everybody, coming at his dad? Like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bulls crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly out their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private, because that man will see you and take your head off. Especially somebody like 50. You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. In the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that nigga go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play. So King Kong just put another battery in their back. And you see after he did that shit, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? As soon as he did that dumb shit, talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here, y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're gonna show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Because you got to realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got is time. Yo, they going to sit there, people sitting up there and they want something. See, people like a fix. They need that fix real quick. They want them to hurry up and charge Diddy with something or see what they got on him. The feds going to take their time. May take 6 months, may take 2 years. They got up to 3 years to bring their case up. They got 3 years. So they checking everything about them. They gonna dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like he played a part in that video coming up. You know, him making a comment saying that, you know, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was walling out, man.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshitting. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government gonna run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York. But they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the, you know, the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Kong's comments.
My man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years, and I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, the NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their boss? You might think it's petty, but it's not. You do not agitate a lion with a pork chop. And that's what that kid did, bro.
Some people feel like, you know, Diddy, he played a part in that video coming out too. You know, him being spotted with Stevie J, smiling at the camera. You know, a lot of people blame him too.
But bro, what did I tell you? He's such a narcissist that he has to be in the public. Yo, listen to me. They just caught him on TMZ today or yesterday or something like that, walking out and about. Now, I'm not telling the man what to do, what he couldn't do. I don't know if the government told he couldn't travel nowhere, he couldn't be nowhere and stuff like that. But why are you gonna go outside your own compound where you know TMZ and every other place is waiting on you? You're not gonna get any public sympathy. That's why he had that picture of him and his father around his neck. You're not gonna get no sympathy. You're done. Stick a fork in it. Call it a quit. Apologize to Big's mother for putting her son in that position that he loses his life. It's crazy. He better do a Russell Simmons.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that, man. They saying that he gonna pull a Russell Simmons.
Well, anything's possible, bro, but I don't know if the feds will allow him since they got an open investigation on him. At the time, our relationship, I was like his big uncle, so I'm not gonna let him do stupid stuff to get himself in trouble or me in trouble. So a lot of that stuff that is probably happened after I left, you understand, other than, you know, the swinging stuff that he did with Kim and other guys and everything.
Okay, talk to me about that a little bit.
I don't know what you want to know about that, Cam. You know, you talking about this is your girl, this is your woman. She didn't even have Christian at the time, but you bringing other guys in with her, and then sometimes be just other girls and her, then other guys, then guys and girls, and they swinging, they doing their thing, bro. You know, I guess that's what the industry is. They like to swing like that. You know, the rock stars do it. I guess the rappers was doing it too.
Was that stuff surprising to you, or were you used to it being around
the
music business?
I'm not gonna have, Cam, that's surprising to anybody. You know, who gonna have their girl having sex with another man because you can have sex with their girl, or y'all switching and y'all, nah, man. That's some beyond me. but I know it happens.
Mark Curry has said in an interview that Puff broke Kim Porter's nose when they were fighting on a yacht. Did you ever see anything like that or hear about anything like that?
I've never seen Puff put his hands on Kim like that other than snatching her and grabbing her or something like that. But as far as, no, I heard of the nose breaking. That was something that I heard of that.
I seen somewhere that, you know, he treated J-Lo different than he treated Cassie and Kim.
Well, I know that I never seen him with the play fight like he used to do with Kim, because that's how it would start off. He would start off with the play fight, hitting her with pillows and all like that. I guess that love tap, I don't know, that I wasn't into that. I've never been into that with women. So he would start off like that, then it would always probably go up to something, a higher level, or where she wanted him to stop playing with her like that because he may have gotten a little too rough for her. But I never seen him do Miss Lopez like that. And when J-Lo was around, I used to always just call her Miss Lopez. He would do the flirtation and like have a lot of girls around and then try to play her like that. But, you know, she would check that. I put in my book one particular night where she was in the we was in the studio and a lot of girls was up there, and J-Lo got, you know, Miss Lopez got mad and she went home and she put on some jeans and sneakers and put her hair back into a little bun and a ponytail, and she came back to the studio and Puff had a new song for her because she was heated and he got rid of all those girls that was in the studio. So he never tried to, you know, straight up, you know, talk to her crazy or anything around people. Never. I never even heard him raise his voice to her.
Okay. Totally different. Totally different thing.
Totally different. But you got to realize with Kim them and most other people that I've seen them be around, they depended on him. Ms. Lopez didn't depend on him. You know, she had her own.
One thing I've seen a lot of people say was they want to hear from Young Miami.
She's standing by her man. That's what she said, right? I'm standing by my man.
Did she say that? I must have missed it.
Yeah, I think she said that when they was over in London, that she's standing by her man.
That's crazy. I mean, you know, he might not be treating her like that.
I don't know. It's different when a lady says she like to be peed on and she's dealing with somebody. That came out her mouth.
Right, I remember.
So you ain't gonna give her what she like?
So she might be actually into all this stuff, or not, you know, not all of it, but some of the stuff that
may not bother her.
It might not bother her, and she might actually like it.
She can go get her a Birkin bag the next day.
You know, Suge and Diddy had this huge, you know, feud going on. You know, there's this picture that recently came out of Suge playing with Diddy's son. You know, what did you think when you seen that?
We had saw this picture, and it wasn't the ones that was recently released. It was a picture of Suge hugging Misa, and Misa having Justin in her arms, and the thing said, what the East Coast won't take care of, the caption said, what the East Coast won't take care of, the West Coast will. Puff saw that and almost blew a stack in his head. A vein came across his head. I mean, like he was heated. And he got on the phone, you know, I guess he was trying to reach Misa. He was trying to, you know, he was going crazy. And recently, I had told that story on another platform, And I told the story before, and then somebody said they don't believe it. It didn't happen. I was just capping all this other stuff. And now the photo gets released by I don't know who, and Suge Knight is playing Play Daddy on the floor with Justin. And somebody's taking the pictures of him and everything. I know Puff was probably, I don't know if he probably was still mad at that today to see that. Because he probably didn't know those pictures existed.
In the lawsuit, it talks about a situation where they heard about Suge being at a restaurant and Puff was, they allegedly went to grab some guns and go after him or something, man. Do you know anything about that situation?
The part I know about the situation, it wasn't the fact that Suge was at the restaurant. D-Rock, Big's man, was at the restaurant. And they had D-Rock trapped in the restaurant. Now this story came from D-Rock himself, because I was wondering, I was trying to have a sit down with D-Rock and Puff, you know, and I wanted to have a sit down with D-Rock first and let him know all what happened and how did Big end up going to the party when I told y'all not to go to the party. You know, and that's the party that Big got murdered at. So D-Rock told me how Puff, you know, loaded up some guns and everything and had one of the girls, and I didn't know it was Cassie at the time. You know, his girl came into the restaurant with the guns, giving it to him so he could be safe from whatever was gonna go down or whatever they thought was gonna go down, you know, with Suge and his people. So that part was true, because that was told to me by the person who was in the restaurant.
Was that the only situation like that you're aware of?
About what?
About Puff and Suge.
Man, the times we saw Suge, you gotta realize, you know, I was part of Black Hands and Slick in the Family. The time I saw Suge I never had a problem with Suge. You understand what I'm saying? So, it was never no issues. I seen Suge at the Super Bowl. It was no problem, no issue with Puff. We saw Suge in the back of the House of Blues, and Tupac was alive at the time. Tupac was in a white top, a white drop top Rolls Royce, Bentley, whatever that is. Suge was in a red one. We rose up to Pac, and Puff tried to speak to Pac. He like, yo, what up, Pac? Pac looked at him and turned his head. Didn't say nothing to him, got right back on his phone. And the dude in the back of Puff at the time was named Riz. Riz said, yo, F him, speak to Suge. Suge is the boss, right? So then Puff said something to Suge. He said, yo, what up, Suge? He said, what's up? He said, yo, you think we got any problems out here? Suge said, I don't know no problems that y'all have. You think we good out here? He said, you should be. Suge just, I don't know any problems you got, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. And Pac was alive then. You understand? We drove off. We had a reporter with us. I think he was from either Rolling Stones or that other big magazine.
Think Diddy could come back from this? Because a lot of people saying it's over for him.
Oh, it is over for him. Come back to where? To be in the entertainment business? Listen to me, man. And I don't want to bring this guy's story up because it's old. And I know he's trying to live past it, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Ray Rice, his wife, spit in his face. And he did what he did on that elevator. He ain't played one football game after that. Nowhere that I know of. He may have went overseas and played or something like that. I don't know that to be true. But he didn't play in the NFL, a hell of a running back. He ain't played not one down in the NFL after that. No endorsements. Nobody's going to have anything to do with old boy. And when they come out with this other stuff, he gonna come back to work. I wouldn't be surprised if he do the ultimate sin, his suicide. Because bruh, he's such a narcissistic that he couldn't stand not being somewhere and not being seen. His whole life, his whole career was about him being seen in the public. It was about him, taking everybody else's dreams and making them his. And now, him nor his kids would profit from anything from Bad Boy or Sean Puffy Combs again. His kids is gonna suffer behind this.
Wow, man, that's crazy to hear, man. And knowing Diddy, you think it's a good chance he might take his life?
He was talking about taking his life at the City College thing. Yo, D. Ferg, ASAP Ferg's father, say, yo, man, we gotta watch him, man. This nigga talking about killing himself. I say, so let him. If you're that weak, I said, let him. And he said, Eugene, why you say that? I said, man, listen to me, man. He ain't no good to nobody if he talking about hurting himself. His life don't belong to him. His life belong to God. What he should be trying to do right now is work his way towards God now, for real, and not that devil we've been worshiping. That those people got him believing, you understand, that's the true God. Because everything from what I know, since I've been around him, everything that's gone forward has been that of the devil. The drugs, the alcohol, the partying, everything has been and he's been leading not only himself, our people, into some kind of damnation through his actions.
Yeah, I'm just in disbelief, man. I mean, to see his downfall. I mean, he's been on a long run, man. So, to see this is crazy, man. I mean, how long has he been famous?
Nah, see, you gotta realize he didn't get his fame until after he made that, remember, you gotta remember this, Mighty. I said he made the atmosphere for Pac to die. He made the atmosphere for Big to die. He created the atmosphere, you understand, for Suge Knight to go to jail, because that's what came out of his mouth. So that didn't happen. His fame he didn't really come famous until after the death of Tupac and the Notorious Big, brother. So that's like 97. He went on that whole Bad Boy tour with the #1 song in the world, Missing You, where he stole the thing from Sting and the music from Source Money, the lyrics from Source Money. Didn't even want to pay that man his money. Waited all those years to pay that man his money. He was stealing people's dreams, man. He's the cause of a lot of people's death, and people ain't gonna see it the way I see it. But when you steal somebody's dreams, Black Rob probably could have changed his life. Probably could have changed the way he thought. Probably could have changed the way he was doing business if he wouldn't have stole G-Dep from him. If he would have treated Craig Mack in the correct way and not try to steal his music, use him in the way that he used Craig Mack to catapult the Notorious Big, Craig Mack's life could have been changed. If he would have never set up the atmosphere and had Big out there in California and bringing Big to that party, the Notorious Big life may still be here. If he wasn't trying to put the Bloods against the Crips, Well, they was already against each other anyway, but used the Crips. Maybe Tupac wouldn't have never had that altercation. But if ands, and buts were candies and nuts, like I always say, Christmas would be every day. And I understand that. But he set up the atmosphere for a lot of people. Wolf set up the atmosphere between him and BMF. Come on, man. They say one day you gotta pay the piper. That's why he getting that smoke.
Sauce Money, you brought his name up. He had an issue with Diddy?
The one who wrote that Missing You, bruh. The #1 song for a long, it was a #1 song on Billboard. I think he did more than Elvis or anybody. Probably Whitney Houston. But Whitney Houston's the only one did like Triple Diamond or something. But that Sauce Money was like the #1 song, and that's what catapulted him into stardom. He didn't pay Sauce Money for years. For years. And Sauce Money wouldn't say this, but I know this to be true. He did a diss song on Puff. Sent it to Jay-Z. Jay-Z called Puff and said, yo, my man, you don't want that diss song to come out about you. This is true story. I think Puff sent him $100,000 or something like that. And that was, but that could have been about 8 to 10 years after that came out. You know how much money he made and show money and everything he did on that? It's crazy. But the only person who was getting paid off that was Sting.
Was he doing this back then, these freak-off sessions when you was security? Because I'm looking at this lawsuit, and that's what they would call it, freak-off sessions, when, you know, Cassie, she'll have sex with the male prostitute while he'll masturbate.
Bruh, I can't say, because I can't say that. When I used to see him swing, it was always with him, another dude, and 2 girls. You know what I'm saying? When he was swinging with other people, you know what I'm saying? He always had other girls in the room or another guy in the room, even with his girl Kim, and he was swinging with her. So that freak off things, but him videotaping and everything like that, no, I can't say that I was privy to that. But you knew what was going on, you know, just in the instant when people got it confused when I said, when he was in the room with Sarah and her girlfriend, and he had Ja Rule and him in the room. Yo, I didn't know they was doing anything freaky until Ja came out and said, yo, y'all didn't want to be in there because there's a lot of freaky things going on. So I guess that was one of those freak off sections. But other than that, I couldn't say anything.
And you knowing Diddy, and at one point you and him was real cool. Do you believe everything she's saying about these freak off sessions?
Listen, that girl went through some tumultuous shit that she never thought that she would ever have to go through being in the music business. Do you understand that? I've been next to people who are top in the game, in the music business. And they had said to me, yo, I had to suck a lot to get to this position. You understand? They have said that. So I can imagine what that little girl went through with old boy. She ain't lying that thing, because if she would have lied, he would have fought her tooth and nail. He would have fought her tooth and nail, bruh. Don't get it messed up, Art. He would have fought her tooth and nail. That little girl ain't lied nothing that. She ain't lied about none of that. Do you know what she's going through? She know what she's going to go through for the rest of her life? Her kids going to go back and see this on the internet?
Right. And she also said in this lawsuit, man, that, Diddy, he came off as a mentor, but later down the line, he became too controlling.
My position on him, he was never a father figure, bruh. You understand? He was a groomer. He was an addict. He was somebody that was a, what you call those? I've lost all of my terminologies when I was working as a BCW or a child abuse worker. But he was an individual that preyed on this young girl, using her dreams, her talents, holding it hostage for his own benefit. He groomed her. He wasn't no father. He was no father figure to her, bruh.